Islam, Shalom, I.S.L.A.M, Ocio, Hola, Bonjour, Aloha. This is your brother Tarik Bey, Indigenous American Moor, coming to you live and in full effect. Thank you for joining me once again. Please like, share, subscribe to my channel. Go ahead and hit that notification bell when you want to get notified. Hit the thumbs up, give me a like, or leave a comment. Thank you for interacting with my content. Jumping back into it again with more information, more knowledge upon your dome pieces, straight to the head. All right, I hope you get these concepts. I hope you can understand, overstand, and understand. Checking out Commercial Law Applied, Learn to Play the Game by David Robinson. Jump into that. Just want to read a little bit. All right. All right, so we're jumping into, I hope it's legible. Hope you can see it. Peace and love to all the Moors, all the Muslims all over the world. Thank you. Thank you so much for joining me. I really do appreciate you. And I really hope I'm helping somebody out there just get a little more understanding, overstanding, understanding. All right, because we need this knowledge for our future, for our betterment. Just to let some people know exactly what's going on in your daily life, things that might make sense or things that you've just come to accept. Let's get a little more comprehension. All right, the power of acceptance, the term accepted for value, you may have heard that before, is difficult to comprehend and understand when first encountered. With this in mind, when you get a traffic ticket, a notice of tax due of whatever, one's first instinct is, oh no, I'm not going to accept that. Why would anyone want to accept such a thing? All right, definition for accept: to receive with approval, with intent to retain. Black's 4th edition. Acceptance: the taking and receiving of anything in good part, just like in good faith, and as it were a tacit agreement to a preceding part, which might have been defeated or avoided if such acceptance had not been made. Nope, not much better. First, you have to know what the word tacit means. Tacit: something existing, inferred, or understood without being openly stated or expressed, something implied by silence. Silent acquiescence as a tacit agreement, something silently understood. Black's 4th. Number 1, tacit: something done or made in silence, something implied or indicated but not actually expressed, something manifested without objection or contradiction, something inferred from the situation and circumstances in the absence of expressed matter. All right, I hope that was clear. Let's continue to move along here. If you accept a thing, then there is an agreement. Okay, so when it's a thing, like a negotiable instrument, a contract, a citation, a bill, a claim. All right, it's a thing. There's an agreement. A contract: you agree with what is said in writing or otherwise, whatever it may be. If you don't accept it, if you don't say anything and remain silent and do not object, then there is still an agreement, a contract. If you don't refuse or contradict what they say in writing or otherwise, there is agreement, a contract. You certainly don't want to get into a court battle with anyone. No matter how right you think you are, the law you think is on your side, you always lose in court, in any court. So why would you want to accept it, anything, for value? Well, let's define a few more words and see if you can make and see if we can make any sense of all of this. Okay, a conditional acceptance is very important. That's why I put the star right there. A conditional acceptance. All right, so we all have this ability and this power of conditional acceptance. All right, definition: an agreement to pay the draft or the bill, or accept the offer or the draft or bill on the happening of a condition. A conditional acceptance is a statement that the offeree, that's you, is willing to enter into a bargain, a contract, differing in some respects from the one proposed in the original offer. A conditional acceptance is therefore a counter offer made in return. All right, so if somebody offers you a contract, a ticket, or a bill of some sort, you can accept it with conditions, meaning that, say, such said bill or notice says you owe us this amount, said due, with fees and interest or whatever. You say, all right, I see said amount, but in order for me to verify said payment or said fees, I would need you to supply me with XYZ. And that XYZ could be proof in policy, the proof in the policy of said fees and fines or taxes, or it could be an agreement or contract that was signed by you and said party. Different things to actually verify said account or said agreement. All right, under a condition. So you say you will pay with the condition that they supply you with those items that you requested. All right, so now the ball is back in their court, and if they do not answer, they accept your offer by tacit agreement and you win. So you're pretty much using the same tactics they use against us when answering a bill, a citation, a ticket, or something of that effect. Okay, power of acceptance: the capacity of the offeree, that's you, right, the offeree versus the offerer, upon the acceptance of the terms of an offer to create a binding contract. So if you accept their offer with a conditional acceptance and put forth your terms upon which you do accept their offer, you then now have a binding contract on your terms. The offerer, the municipality or corporation, it's very important, the municipality or corporation, because they're normally the ones trying to contract with us and do business and force us into contractual agreements to force us to pay, okay, must now come back with a rebuttal. All right, the unrebuttal affidavit stands as truth. All right, they have to come back with a rebuttal to prove your terms or conditions in error if they can. If they cannot prove you wrong, or if they remain silent and the condition contract stands and you win. The same exact thing. If they don't reply to you, if they're too late within the time limit allotted, if they just ignore you, you win. Default judgment. Okay, you need to accept the offer of contracts that you receive by claiming your control over the fictional entity. That's the straw man. That's the all capital letter name that appears on bills and letters and things of that nature. All capital. That's how you know it's a corporation. Because human beings, real flesh and blood people, names, we learned this in kindergarten, names start with a capital letter and all the other letters after that are lowercase. Let's continue. And that the state created in your name, all right, the straw man. So you must claim control over the fictional entity, the straw man, that the state created in your name when you were born via the birth certificate, social security number. Okay. In other words, I am not a fictitious corporation, the straw man, addressed and stated on your claim. Maxim 6. The unrebuttal affidavit becomes judgment in commerce. All right, so I hope that made sense. And before we finish, I actually want to go over this little citation. All right, so people get citations all the time. You may notice this. It may look similar, you know. They use things to intimidate. Now it says violation. You notice this is a notice. It's not a ticket or a bill, it's a notice of payment. Pretty much they're trying to contract with me and create a debt. So pretty much the contract will be between said state of Virginia, as which they say, but there are ways to protect yourselves and contract so you can do business. Violation says this, all right, time, date, all that other information, officer's number, the person who actually did it, living blood person, but they're operating in a corporate capacity as far as using their agent number. All right. And look, a fee schedule. Fee schedules are very important. It's telling you when you have to pay, or when anyone would have to pay, and what for what. Now, we can use fee schedules ourselves. You can attach these to your automobiles inside of your windows, plainly stated that if you place any type of contract, ticket, notice, anything like that on said automobile, you contract and agree to said fee schedule. Now, imagine how powerful that would be if everyone had fee schedules attached to their automobiles in their free capacity. Anytime someone will try to contract with you by placing said notice or violation, said notice of violations, air quotes, placed on said automobile, they will agree to your fee schedule, which means by attempting to contract with you, they would be forced to pay you. Said agent or county in which they're doing business in would have to pay you $10,000 simply by contracting with you without your permission. These type of things can protect you. All right, so just knowing a little bit more about it, I'm not going to make this too long. It's almost the end, wrapping it up. Thank you for joining me. All right, notice how they say payment of the citation. All right, yada yada yada. You can read it for yourself. I have a few things. Please note that this parking citation is not reported to the Department of Motor Vehicles. See, things like this guarantee business for these type of entities. Department of Motor Vehicles, the courthouses, all of these guys are racketeering together, and they are guaranteeing business to each other by forcing us, the people, flesh and blood, into contracts. So we will have to contract with all of them. See, court fines, cost. They might suspend said driver's license. What does one have to do with the other? And if you're operating in your proper capacity, we don't drive, we travel. So unless you're operating in commerce as a taxi driver, bus driver, no need for a driver's license. All right, it says insert payment and citation into envelope and mail. Notice it's in all capital letters. City of Fairfax Processing Center, a P.O. box. And where is it located? In New York. Look at that. So someone in New York owns these corporations, and they're processing payments in the corporation. All right, it says, look, if you want to contest this citation, which is always recommended, you must file a signed affidavit requesting a court date. So look, for signed affidavit, it's telling you affidavit must be signed. How powerful are affidavits? But they're also putting some stipulations in here with their conditional contract, which aren't exactly lawful. It says on filing an affidavit. All right, so I just wanted to, and of course, failure to payment. This is like default judgment. They're automatically adding things like this in there. And then waiver, it says pretty much you're waiving your rights to file, you're waiving your right to combat this, and you're pretty much just acquiescing, and you're pretty much just pleading guilty, and you're paying it. See, so they have a few different sections on here. So unless you have the proper understanding, understanding the concept and the definitions behind how they set up these contracts, because this is a contract, believe it, there's different ways to deal with it, paying it, ignoring it, telling you all of these things that I just went over on conditional agreements and contracts. All right, so once again, this is your brother Zach Bey, Indigenous American Moor, coming to you live and in full effect. I really hope I'm helping somebody out here. Peace and love to all the Moors, all the Muslims all over the world. And to all the other nationalities that's tuning in, anybody who really wants to be free, anybody who wants to try to break out of this matrix and build a better future for humanity, for society, and uplifting fallen humanity on a daily basis, I thank you. Peace and love to all the Moors that's really holding it down, doing their thing. Get more information, get more knowledge, read more books, fam. Peace.